is October 1st, 2025, and yesterday I actually just took the leap and I scheduled myself for surgery to get my gallbladder removed. This has been out here, I guess, 3 years of dealing with pain. My surgery is a little bit unique because they've never seen anything wrong with my gallbladder up until this point. I've just had a painful HIDA scan when the CCK was administered, and so they're just going to take a shot in the dark and take it out. The fact that it's not 100% chance that it's going to ease my symptoms makes me nervous. But I've gotten about 6 opinions so far, and everybody seems to feel pretty confident about it overall. 13 days left with my gallbladder. So we're about 24 hours left with my gallbladder. Honestly, I've been having many panic attacks about this. It's such a stressful decision, especially because they don't know if it's even going to help. It's a risk. So we'll see. But at least I went to the farmer's market today. I'm trying to do things that generally make me very happy. Basically acting like it's my birthday. So I live in Ephraim and my surgery is happening in Farmington, which is probably 2.5 hours away. And so we're going to stay up in Park City, which is closer and also nice because it's fall and Park City is my favorite place in Utah. So just another reason or a little element that's hopefully going to make this an easier process. I'll show you guys a video of the tour of our villa. So this is a Marriott Vacation Club villa. Right as you walk in, you enter, and there's this standalone bathroom. They gave me a handicap room because they knew I was recovering from surgery, and I'm actually really grateful for that because I can use these hand bars to help me get off the toilet and also even sit down in the shower. Over here's the entrance. They have some hooks since this is a ski resort. Here they have a washer and dryer. Kyle's gonna do some laundry for us. We've got the kitchen. Beyond the kitchen, we have a little dining room area. So we brought our entire setup, and luckily I was playing a gig on Saturday, so we just brought all of the supplies from the gig, and we're just utilizing them here. This is a pull-out couch too, so if I am feeling like watching the stack of Twilight movies I got, I feel like this is where I'm going to be. We'll just pull out this couch, and I'm just gonna chill. Then you have the master suite. Just a nice little chair area. We have this big bed. I brought the blanket and also that gray pillow for myself, and then I requested a whole bunch of extra pillows to help prop me up after surgery. And then over in here, we have the master bathroom. Here's the bathroom. So these are the snacks that I have with me at my hotel. I'm gonna have some beef broth, maybe tomorrow, just to see how I do. Saltine crackers are always good with your nausea. This is actually Kyle's. There's no way I'm gonna be able to handle this later, but I'll eat the applesauce. And then I stocked our fridge. We have sparkling water because that always helps my stomach. I have Powerade, just help with some electrolytes. And here, I have a sparkling strawberry juice from Trader Joe's. It's made with just strawberry juice, so I really like it. And then this is prune juice because I hear you get constipated after surgery. Also, I had to take off my manicure and it made me really sad, so afterwards I will hopefully get a new one. So here we have my medicine cabinet that I just put in our hotel kitchen. So a whole bunch of Tylenol. I'm gonna take vitamin D later. I haven't been able to take it for a while. And this is a thermo repair heat pack. And these are some lidocaine patches that I might use on my shoulders. Just my prescriptions that I usually take. And then I'm prepared to conquer constipation. I also put a couple ice packs in the freezer for tomorrow. Okay, so it's about 5:15. I'm gonna get ready. We need to leave our hotel. I was thinking around 6:30. I hope my heatless waves actually work so I can feel at least a little cute, but we'll work on those. I wanted to show you what's in my bag though. Alright, so this is kind of random to start with, but I'm having Kyle bring me some face lotion, just because I can't be wearing makeup to the procedure and I tend to get dry, so I just want to have this. I also have lip gloss, hand sanitizer because we are going to a hospital. I'm having him bring me some hand cream. Maybe he can like put it on my hands and feet while I'm recovering. And then just good old chapstick. I also am bringing some Listerine strips, but I'm not allowed to take them until after the sorry, I have such bad hiccups. Hopefully it's gonna be okay for this because my diaphragm, if it's contracting, that's like right next to where they're gonna be working. But anyway, I'm bringing Listerine strips because I don't want to have stinky breath after having my mouth open from surgery for so long with a tube coming out of it. My wallet, I'm bringing a portable charger. I also have my Beats Studio Pods that I'll listen to music before because that always calms me down. Probably Reputation as a Pump Up album. I have a whole bunch of essential oils that I got from my friend Jill. She has an oil company called The Original Oil Shop. And so I have today peppermint. This is a roll-on that I can use for nausea. I brought lavender because it helps me calm down. And then I have one, she names it Happy Soul. I love it. And it smells so good. Honestly, I can smell my heart right now to help my soul. In this pack, I have a bunch of the same scents, but they're little inhalers, so it's not oil, but you just put it near your nose and sniff them. I'm also bringing the book I've been working on, Echo War. They told me to bring my inhaler just because I am going to be intubated. They want me to take my inhaler before the intubation. I am bringing one of these Thermacare packs. They just heat up pretty much as soon as you open them, but I was going to use it to relieve any pressure on my shoulders or back. And then I have an instant ice pack that will pop as soon as I get in the car, and I can hold it against my incisions if I feel like I need it. And then I brought a lidocaine patch as well that I can just put on my shoulder or my back if I have air trap. I also am bringing nose mint from Japan. It smells good. It smells just like Vicks and you just sniff it. So I'm bringing some of that. It's a new package because I was like, I need to save this for a time that I need a little boost of happiness. And then another essential oil thing, this is something that they gave me when I was giving birth to Stella, but you just open it and smell it as well, and it helps with nausea. And then I'm bringing all of my paperwork so Kyle can still teach this week while I'm recovering in peace, and our parents are taking care of our kids so that I really can just focus on comfort and healing and taking good care of myself. And I will say, honestly, doing this vlog has been helping me. So I hope it helps other people too as they're watching this. It's a really stressful situation. I guess I should also maybe even mention why this is happening. So when I was pregnant with Stella, I had what they called intrahepatic cholestasis of pregnancy. And this is basically where your bile gets stagnant, I would say. It doesn't move through your body. It can actually end up going into your bloodstream. And it's really very dangerous for the baby. So my pregnancy was intense. I'm actually shocked that they didn't check my gallbladder after it because it's all related. I ended up not being on birth control for a while. And when I started taking birth control again, my symptoms came back. This is like the itchiness, the right upper quadrant pain, even some weight loss and like lack of appetite. And then Kyle ended up getting a vasectomy last year, so I got off the birth control. So my doctor was like, the birth control is what's probably causing your symptoms. So then when I got off the birth control, I was like, yeah, it's not causing my symptoms because they're still there. So they were bearable for a while, but over this summer, like when I went to Japan and everything, I just noticed that I couldn't eat anything good, basically anything with fat. So I would like take one bite of fried chicken from Japan 7-Elevens and be in so much pain. And so generally I've been eating very low fat lately, it's made me lose a ton of weight. I'm down to like probably 103 pounds right now. So with the chance of malnutrition, my doctors were like, that's the biggest risk, is that you're just basically withering away. And I can feel it because I don't have energy. I can't like keep up with my toddler. I have to nap so much. And I do have the right upper quadrant pain after I eat fatty meals. So they're like, let's just take it out. They told me I can't wear makeup, so I'm just gonna do like a skincare routine, like what I would do at night, just because I'm about to go to sleep for surgery. And hopefully that'll make my skin look just a little bit more glowy. I still have hiccups, so hopefully I can calm down before they get into me. I'm going to use some daily brightening serum from Good Molecules. I'll put some more serum. This is like an antioxidant serum. I love it. It's from Trader Joe's. So I can't have any eye makeup at all, just because they're going to tape my eyes closed, which I'm glad for because I was kind of worried about just like being like that the whole time. So I'm glad they're doing that. I am not glad that I have to be intubated. I'm really scared about that actually. But I think I'm mostly scared about waking up in pain. Next, I'm going to use Mario Badescu night cream. It's a seaweed night cream. Put some on my neck too. Honestly, I feel really fresh already. Hailey Bieber would say, I feel like a glazed donut. Okay, next I'm gonna put on some Mario Badescu hyaluronic eye cream, which hyaluronic acid is good because it actually puffs up your skin a little bit. So since I have these sunken eyes today from not really sleeping, hopefully it helps. And then lastly, I'm gonna use a little bit of this vitamin C serum just on some spots. I actually might even use this on my incisions once they're more healed, just to help. And I get really sweaty when I have anxiety. So here's the deodorant so that I don't have to stink up the operating room. And like I showed you, I did heatless waves. I feel like they actually turned out pretty good because I didn't even go to bed with my hair 90% dry like you should. It's more like 75 because I was so tired. And so I'm happy that it actually held. And now I'm adding my favorite stuff ever. This is Pheno hair oil. I got it from Japan, but you can also get it online if you're in other countries. But I swear by it, and Kyle thinks it's the best smell ever. And I think lastly, all I'm gonna do is just bring a hair tie with me. Here's one of the last times I'm gonna look at my belly before I have a whole bunch of scars. It makes me sad. Okay, so I had a little bit of retail therapy yesterday. This is some of the stuff I got. So I got these Gap sweats that I can go in. They're really comfy, plus Stella has a pair, so now we can match. And then I just got this Gap thermal shirt. They told me to dress comfy. I'm also wearing some gray socks, and I'll be wearing Ugg boots. Here we go. This is making it really real. No turning back now. I am basically just waiting in this room. They got me hooked up to an IV and my heart rate monitor's on. And now they're just warming me up. I've been waiting here for almost an hour. So I hope it's coming soon because the anxiety of just waiting is the worst part. I just woke up and now I'm with Kyle again. But they had given me a lot of anti-nausea. So I feel like I can't keep my eyes open because it makes me so tired. Hi guys, I just woke up and I'm feeling honestly a lot better than I thought because I saw a lot of YouTube videos being like, I woke up a lot worse than I thought. Really, the main thing is it hurts to take deep breaths on my right side, and then I'm nauseous. That's pretty much it. I was even able to stand and move from a hospital bed into this recliner, so overall I'm just really drugged up, but feeling good. So I am back at the hotel. This is just the day of surgery, and so I kind of wanted to give you a rundown of what happened, because a couple days ago I was really panicking and I was like, I'm gonna cancel this appointment, and I ended up not, because then I ate some fatty food and I was like, oh crap, this actually hurts and I don't know if I can keep living my life like this. Once I got there, I was really sweaty because of the nerves, but also cold because of the nerves. And when they called me back, the nurse was like, how are you? And I was like, I'm panicking and I've had anxiety about this the whole entire last week, probably even more. And she was like, okay, let me just talk to the nurse. We'll see if we can get you anything for anxiety, but it's totally normal. So she was super kind and reassuring. And then I ended up going into the pre-op room, which Kyle was able to hang out with me the entire time back there, and that was super nice. They had me go and take a pregnancy test, which I knew was going to be negative because of the vasectomy that Kyle had. Then after that, they were like, okay, change. So I put on a beautiful cap and a gown and some non-slip socks, but they gave me a heated blanket, and then they set me up with another. It was kind of like if you've seen Big Hero 6 and that scene where all of those kids are freezing and Baymax is like, he turns on his heat temperature and warms them up. So I literally had this like warming balloon across my entire body, just warming me up for surgery. And then they put 2 more blankets on top of that. So I was like super cozy. I actually felt like I waited for surgery for a really long time though, maybe like a full hour from the time I was in that pre-op room. And Kyle's just a saint. He was rubbing my feet, trying to help me relax, and I feel like I was meditating during that hour, because the nurse ended up saying that she couldn't give me anything for anxiety until right before, and so I just had to kind of just sit in my emotions. But I thought I did overall a really good job, and every time I conquer something like this, it always makes me just I'm gonna cry because it makes me just see how strong I am of a person. So I'm really proud of myself. Anyway, no, I'm just red nose, red eyes. It's fine. But they ended up coming back. So we first had the surgeon come and talk to us, and he was like, just so you know, since we haven't seen anything wrong with your gallbladder, there's a chance that doing this isn't even going to help. And he just wanted me to be aware of the risk and make sure that I knew it, even though I was already aware of that from all of the consultations that I've had from pretty much the 7 opinions that I got before going through with this. And he was way nice, from Vietnam. I love Asian people. Then the anesthesiologist came in, and she was a female, so I felt really good. I really like having as many female people on my healthcare team. I was actually a little nervous about going into surgery with a male as like the main surgeon for some reason, but it ended up working out. But she was so nice and just like cute, and she actually was wearing the same necklace. It's like a Tiffany smiley necklace that Taylor Swift owns too. So I was like, are you kidding? Another little nod to my favorite superstar. But anyway, we went through with her. I had a whole bunch of questions because I'm the type of person that needs to know every single detail about something before I do it. So like the weeks before this, I literally watched people perform the exact surgery that I was going to have, from the moment that they get put under to being intubated to then being cut open and having the robot parts go in, because this is a robotic laparoscopic cholesystectomy that I had. They were like, what procedure are you having today? And I was like, laparoscopic cholesystectomy. And they're like, dang, you even know the medical terminology for it. And I was like, yeah, because I know as much as I possibly can about this situation. It's my autism showing. So then I wanted to know as well, since my sister has actually woken up, she's woken up during 14 out of 15 surgeries. So I was panicked because I'd been under twilight anesthesia, like propofol for endoscopies and colonoscopies. And I don't know what they give you for your wisdom teeth, but I think it's just that. So I was worried that this was going to be a situation where I was going to wake up, or like they would be unable to get me to go to sleep, just like they did with my sister. But it ended up working out. So she told me they were going to give me Versed for anxiety first, which also makes you a little bit loopy, like you have amnesia, and it makes you tired too. When they gave that to me, I definitely could feel the effects. I take Klonopin sometimes as an anxiety medication, just as needed, and it felt really similar, but obviously they gave me a lot stronger of a dose than I usually would take on my own. So they gave me Versed, then they put a gas mask over my face, but they were also like talking to me while I had my gas mask on, so then I was like trying to respond back, and they were like, they like kept taking the gas mask off so I could respond. And then they gave me some fentanyl before they gave me propofol, because propofol actually burns a lot when it goes in you. I could feel the burn. I've had potassium infusions and they are much worse. It's like if you're a Twilight fan and you read the way Stephenie Meyer describes when somebody gets bit and the venom spreads through their body, that's what a potassium injection feels like to me. But I didn't have to get that, just propofol. And then that's all I remember from the operating room. I did have to transfer myself from the gurney onto the operating room table, which I was kind of scared about, because I was like, are they gonna make me like get down on the ground and then like slide, like have to climb back up in a gown with my butt showing? But that's not what happened. They kept me super modest. They had blankets over me, and I just slid from one bed to the next because they were the same level. And then I ended up waking up in a post-op room with a really nice nurse. She was asking me how I was doing. I was like, yeah, I'm in pain, definitely. It wasn't that bad of pain though, so she gave me some medicine for that. I feel like it kicked in pretty well. But then shortly after that, I started to get nauseous, and so they had already given me anti-nausea medicine before I woke up. They also gave me, if you can see, I have this little nausea patch, which they put that on me before surgery, and I can leave it on for a few days. And then they gave me like 2 other types of nausea medicine to try to help me. I did not throw up, which I am proud of. They gave me some Sprite and some applesauce to eat, and I did a really good job with that, and I was also being very friendly. The funny thing is, I think I was like super high, but I was like, hey, can you please turn on Beethoven's Ninth Symphony? This was like before I was fully coherent. So then when I was waking up, I was like listening to Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, and I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, did I ask for this? And then she's like, yeah, and you told me how you saw it in Paris too. And I was like, okay, cool. Which is so funny that you just don't remember those things. But anyway, I was feeling pretty well. I wanted her to get me to sit up pretty quickly after, and my biggest request was, I really want to start walking as soon as possible. So they observed me for about 30 minutes in the post-op room, and then wheeled me in my bed back to the room that I started in with Kyle. But this time, instead of having me in a bed, this was when I was like, the first time I stood up, they had me transfer from the bed to a grandpa recliner, and it was really nice. So I just sat on that, and I got up out of bed super well. The last time I had to get up out of bed after something intense was giving birth, and that was after having an epidural, and my legs didn't really work that well yet, so that was way worse, is getting out of bed after you've given birth. So if you're a mama, just know that it's definitely a lot easier. So I got out of bed, moved over to the couch, and they also told me, or Kyle told me, that when they were in there, the doctor came and talked to Kyle after. He didn't talk to me, rightfully so, because I was like very intoxicated, but he was like, just so you know, when we were in there, we noticed that her gallbladder actually had inflammation. And this is something that wasn't picked up on my MRCP or my HIDA scan. Back in 2019, I had an ultrasound randomly because I thought I was having appendicitis. I actually was having appendicitis, but they were able to I went to the hospital early enough that they ended up saving my appendix, and I still have it. But during that ultrasound, my gallbladder was enlarged, and so I guess it's just been getting bigger. So now I actually feel a lot better. Like, this was meant to happen. I needed to get it out, and like, no wonder if my gallbladder is super inflamed and anytime I'm eating it's contracting, no wonder I was having such bad right upper quadrant pain. So after that, I was like, I really want to try walking around the hospital floor, if that's okay with you guys. And so my nurse was like, sure, but you don't want to flash everybody, so get dressed. So I had Kyle get me dressed, and I was feeling pretty nauseous and dizzy from that, but like still doing my best keeping it down. Got my socks on, my cute Gap sweats and my cute Gap shirts back on, and my Ugg boots, and we took 2 laps around the hospital floor. I was passing the nurses station 2 times, and both times they were like, you have to keep your eyes open, because I was like dozing off. Anti-nausea medicine really makes you tired, and so I think that was probably why. But I was like forcefully keeping my eyes open, and then they were like, sure, you can go home. We got there at 7:35 in the morning, and I think we left around maybe 1. They also were so nice, and they let Kyle go down to the pharmacy that they had on the first floor while I was in surgery to pick up all of the medication that I need. I actually haven't taken any of it yet, but he was able to get that. So then as soon as I was ready to go, they ended up wheeling me down just because they didn't want me to overdo it too much, even though I could walk just fine. And I got in the car. I listened to the entirety of The Life of a Showgirl because it's happy glitter pop music that sometimes you need to just listen to glitter pop music when you're going through hard things. So listen to that wonderful album, and then we were there because the album's about 45 minutes and our hotel was about 45 minutes away. It was perfect. So once I got back to the hotel, I was able to get out of the car by myself. I actually was like walking faster than Kyle. He had to keep up with me because he was picking up the stuff from the car, and I just kept walking because I didn't want to just stand there and wait for him. And so he just had to catch up to me. And then we ended up going into our hotel room. Well, I brought my pregnancy pillow from when I was pregnant because I heard that it helps just so that you can prop yourself up. And I ended up taking maybe like a hour-and-a-half nap. I also feel like I slept on the drive up. Otherwise, I was able to eat chicken bone broth. Kyle made that for me, and I've had a cracker. He gave me these in a little care package, some Japanese candies. So I tried one of these. He got me some Burt's Bees chapstick. It's my favorite stuff. So that was nice because he knew my lips were gonna be dry. He got me this cool grabby thing so I can just like, be from right here and go and grab something off the nightstand without having to lean over. And I'm planning on using it a ton when I have my toddler because she frequently throws things on the ground and I don't want to have to bend down and pick it up. And he got me a gallbladder, one that's not going to try to kill me. And then he gave me a Japanese night cream. Overall though, I'll keep you guys posted on the next few days how I'm doing.